Behind the Counter is sponsored by
GoDaddy.com. Sign up for a new account and get your domain name for only $2.49 by using promo code Queens at checkout.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Counter. It's not the same without the theme music. I'm your host, Rich Stamboling, and with me, as always, is New York's hottest club, Jonathan Adler.
Hey.
Yeah, it's better when the music fades out, and I yell at you a little bit, and then I say what's going on.
It's really awkward. It feels like Mad Men.
Hello, and welcome, everybody. Do I have to do the GoDaddy spot for this?
No.
Okay.
Might as well do it.
If you sign up for GoDaddy right now as a new member, it's only $2.49 for a domain. Can you beat that?
I can't.
That was better than Yes, you did that to me last on Mad Men, and I was like, yes, yes, it is a great deal.
Yes, I did beat it.
So what's going on, man? San Diego, the heat.
The heat. I think San Diego came to New York today.
I think so.
Over this entire week, it feels like the sun is trying to eat the earth.
Oh yeah,
every day.
This is what global warming is all about, man.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I think
global summer.
Yeah.
But this is honestly, like last year was the hottest summer in New York, hottest summer on record, right? I think this year's gonna beat it.
Yeah.
This is also the sweatiest summer I've experienced at all, like ever.
Well, I'm very spoiled because I have incredible air conditioning in my home.
You're central, right?
Yeah, I keep it just about 50 degrees in my home. And I have a pool.
I'm moving in.
So when I come to caves like this, it reminds me that it's so bad out.
Yeah.
And I was outside today, and you know when it gets really, really hot and the sun's very, very strong, you kind of see white for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it's like that white light coming from the sun. It really was a bit tepid out.
I get the, you know what I get? I get like when the Terminator lands and like the lens shakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when I get up, I'm like,
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
A little bit of the heat vertigo. But we're here. We're back. We took a little summer break. We took a couple weeks off.
We took a nap.
I was telling him, I was like, we took a couple of weeks off, and we come back on the hottest day in the universe. But, you know, how were your 2 weeks off?
I started doing the comic show on the side.
Were you? Were you in studio and nobody was here?
I was. Things have been good, man. I can't, no complaints. Just trying to not catch flame and make it to shady places.
What's your cure for the summertime blues?
The cure for summertime blues is staying in school.
Terrible. Is that the lamest answer?
What's your cure for summertime blues?
An ice cold Fanta.
Ooh.
No, I'll take that back. It's chemical. I'm immune to it because I'm part Spanish, but that's a chemical burn for a white man.
Or Fanta.
So this week, the San Diego Comic Convention is taking place.
It sure has. Today's day one. Preview day.
Arguably America's biggest Comic-Con.
And also America's Sweetheart.
And America's Sweetheart.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Javits is getting up there, but San Diego is still like the King Kong.
It's never going to be San Diego.
It's the King Kong Dong of Comic-Con.
They've got more room.
Yeah.
They've got more room. They got more presence. There's no way that New York is ever going to get there.
Yeah.
All the weird LA people come in. And,
hey.
What's going on?
This is where comics are made?
Ooh.
It's like that scene in The Sound of Music where Julie Andrews is spinning around and she's surrounded.
The Nazis gun her down. Say, au revoir, Shoshana.
She's surrounded by this beautiful valley, except replace the valley with merchandise. And Godzilla apparently Godzilla showed up at the Comic-Con today.
Huge.
Yeah.
So I got some breaking news from Comic-Con.
Hit it, baby.
Comic-Con.
I would love to go to a McConaughey
Con. I would go to a McConaughey Con.
It's all right, man. First edition. Limited edition. Step right up.
He's also going to be in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah, who's he going to be? Mastermind?
He's going to play himself.
Hey, Wolverine, what's up?
So, speaking of Days of Future Past, he's also, they've leaked some photos out of it, and they gave the first look of Sentinels.
Okay.
And they look terrible.
Yeah.
And also Bishop.
Okay.
And a Grey Templed Wolverine.
Still played by Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Not by Paulie from The Sopranos, because that's...
Ooh, that'd be good.
That's my Days Future Past Wolverine
hey,
right there.
Bub.
Hey, Bub.
Nick, Bub.
Say Bupkis, Paulie.
Marvel Planet really is promising to show off Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Probably Saturday.
Cool.
That's gonna be exciting.
Batista's gonna be there.
And also, we're probably gonna get more of a look on what the future kind of looks like for Marvel. There's rumors that they've already signed on Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Doctor Strange. It's weird.
That is a little weird.
Yeah.
You're making him a young Doc Strange.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to.
They gotta give him like the little goatee though.
No, they're gonna give him like this guy.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. better yet, they have to. They gotta make him look like Bruce Willis as Doctor Strange.
Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, can't see you properly with my eyes closed like this.
You like Looper, right?
Hey, put it on a movie anytime.
Yeah,
Get that Looper money.
Did they release who? I mean, Peter Dinklage is going to be in the Days of Future Past movie.
Yes, they did reveal this week who he's going to play. He's playing. Is it Robert Shaw? One of the Shaws.
Okay.
Not Shaws.
Not Puck.
No. What's the guy's name? Who's the guys that developed the Sentinels?
The Pierces.
No, not Pierce.
Yeah.
Pierce is the blonde guy in the Reavers. He didn't make them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
The guy who was a senator, not Senator Kelly. That guy.
Okay.
They made him a midget or a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
little person.
if you're dirty. And they said there's somebody else. Oh, a young William Stryker is also going to be Bill Stryker.
Go away.
They really stamped that Stryker. I think it's what they call it. It's Singer really just loves putting Stryker in there.
He came out and said last week, he was like, listen, I know the franchise is disgusting, but this is going to be the X-Men movie that brings it back. And they also said that about Wolverine. Like Wolverine, whoever made Wolverine are like, this is what you've been waiting for.
Dr. Trask?
Yeah, Boulevard Trask.
Yeah, one of the Trask. Thank you, sir.
That was the one.
Our news guy.
Thanks, Andrew.
Back to you.
But all right, yeah, I'll go see Wolverine.
I think Wolverine's gonna be great. This one not so much.
Yeah,
not the Days of Future Past stuff. And plus the franchise was doing fine with the last one they put out.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
We said that before.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wants to make it into his old vision.
It's a tough sell. I think it's a tough sell for X-Men fans. I also I was reading something about like a potential X-Force cast.
Well, yeah, that's the other big surprise supposedly is that Fox is going to announce they are now putting together a X-Force film based on Rob Liefeld's hit series. Not the other stuff that we really enjoy.
Not Wolverine. Not another Wolverine movie to make $1 million. So you're gonna get cable, obviously.
Shatterstar.
I got a good cable.
Who's your cable?
Liam Neeson.
Oh boy,
that works.
No,
that works.
Don't want it. Do not want.
Gerard Butler.
What's his name from Lost?
Josh
Freckles.
What's his name? Josh Holloway?
I got time travel Freckles.
Nah, Josh Holloway's Cannonball, bro.
No.
Mario Lopez's Sunspot.
Oh.
I want a low budge made for TV
really?
X-Force.
Oh boy.
Put it all in high school. Farrell is going to be played by Parker Posey. Boom,
I like that.
Boom Boom is going to be played by
Lady Gaga.
Perfect. Rising pop star, Shirley Rose.
She's risen.
She's risen. Warpath, Batista.
I don't mind seeing that.
Hey, you'd pay like
not Liam Neeson. I don't want Liam Neeson as cable.
Nah,
no.
They can go the other way.
I want that guy. Did you see Avatar?
Yeah.
You know the old guy they had in the movie with I want that guy as my cable. That guy is perfect for any type of military operation.
I agree with that. That would be a good case. I feel like he's really tiny though.
He's not Liam Neeson. Well, I mean, Liam Neeson is just tall, but he looks so sickly.
Be on my team. Michael Caine is cable.
I'll take it. He might be in the new Mark Millar movie, the adaptation of Secret Service.
Okay.
He might be playing the James Bondy character.
The uncle?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was a great series. I really liked that.
The kid, they also made an announcement. He's like unknown, but he's supposed to be very good too.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. What movies are you looking forward to?
At this thing?
Yeah.
At this thing?
Is what people don't understand is like when some way, like I would say maybe like 8 years ago, San Diego Comic-Con went from your convention with creators and like comic book related things to, hey buddy, check out these movies that are going to come out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they have, I remember when I went in 2006, they had like in the middle of this whole friggin' building, they had a interactive Snakes on a Plane display. It was before the movie came out.
Oh boy.
And everybody was going
money.
bananas for it.
Yeah, I mean that movie that was so powerful on the hype, and nobody wanted to go see it.
There's the original Sharknado.
Yeah.
Did you catch Sharknado?
I didn't.
It's ridiculous.
I did see all the chainsaw stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. What am I looking forward to? I am oddly looking forward to Godzilla because of Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
If they could do anything as cool as that, the post. Do you see the poster for this?
Nah.
There's a bunch of that are kind of like all over the floor, so people taking pictures of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's one where it's black and white. It's kind of like a jock drawing of the tail coming out and like helicopters swarming around it. Okay. And the tail is just tremendous. It's like the tail itself is like a skyscraper.
Uh-huh.
So I think they're making this guy super, super big.
Like gigantic.
Yeah. But we know nothing about it. I'm looking forward to all the Marvel announcements.
Yes.
I think we're probably going to get a JLA announcement from DC. I'm just curious. I'm curious about
Not happening
this year, guys. 2 more years. J.J. Abrams supposedly has finished the Star Wars script. So there may be some announcement about that. It's a big year for a lot of stuff. I'm looking forward to the Game of Thrones stuff that's going to be coming up.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to hearing whatever bullshit comes out of the Walking Dead panel.
Keep the money coming in.
Yeah, pretty much. What else is they got going on there?
Let's make it more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to whatever surprise they got going. But it's a lot of movie crap.
There's a lot of movie crap.
So much movie shit coming out.
Which is fine, but I love movies, but it's just it's an interesting place to, you don't have anything like that for like blockbusters until San Diego came along, where it's like all the companies are like, yo, these guys are going to our movies. It makes sense for us to be there. And also, like, you're getting a lot of video game stuff at conventions too. Like, I remember at which is weird because it's not sometimes it makes no sense. Like at the New York Comic Con a couple of years ago, they had this giant booth, this giant space with banners hanging from the ceiling dedicated to Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah,
and it was one screen inside it with like a game demo, and then people handing out not business cards, playing cards. Mm-hmm. And that's all it was. But it was like a good like 30 by 30 space, like taking up space in the Javits Center. And Sony always has like all the demos for everything, but they do a good setup because it's like an arcade.
Well, they have PS4 and Xbox One there too.
Can't wait for that PS4.
Right back up to each other. Speaking of which,
I don't want to start this again, but
during the last 2 weeks, I've been playing The Last of Us.
I finally got it in the mail.
Oh man,
yeah,
I'm going back and playing again.
Yeah,
the best game to come out in a very long time.
I believe on a Twitter feed, Will Wheaton, from Star Trek: The Next Generation,
I heard of him,
said this is the best movie I've ever played.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There's nuances and all types of like things you wouldn't really expect in a storytelling atmosphere of a video game. That just makes it so awesome, and it's really fun to play.
Yeah, I can't wait to crack into it this weekend.
You're gonna have such a good time, man.
Maybe tomorrow. If I'm not busy tomorrow, I might
make it happen.
Catch up on some comics.
Make it so.
I know. So New York Comic Con coming in October.
I gotta get tickets.
Yeah.
Don't get my tickets
you
yet.
You didn't apply for the pro?
No, not yet.
Gotta get the pro, man.
I know.
I'm coming this time.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I've been hearing that for the past 3 years.
With bated breath.
This is it. I don't want to be
I'll
here.
see you at our birthdays also.
Can you come? Can you come dressed like Tony Stark, please?
Middle class Tony.
Just put a suit on.
That's my gimmick. That's my thing. I'm middle class Tony Stark.
All you got to do.
I just have a mechanic shop.
Put a suit on and put a pair of shades on and like do your hair like in the movie, and everybody will be like, "Holy crap!"
Oh my God, Tim! Just put those dumb shades on.
Oh, the round ones.
Any of them.
Okay.
You could do it as your version of Tony Stark.
Get a pair of Ray-Bans.
Well, thank you.
That's it.
90s steampunk.
Are we doing black metal makeup this year?
Yep.
For once.
Yes.
It'll be all really hot and sweaty. Yeah, but it's I think it's the second week of October again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, and it's become like another. I really like the thing about San Diego. Big difference between San Diego and New York is that San Diego, I feel like it's impossible to oversell it, and you're not belly to back to people. You're not butts to nuts, as some people like to say.
Butts to nuts. San Diego?
Yeah.
Well, because they have more space, they have more real estate to play with, but at the same time, you're still waiting on line for everything you do.
Yeah.
Like, you want this thing? Wait on the line.
Wait on that line.
You want to see this thing? Wait on that line.
come back. They do that in New York Con too, or like, I'm sure like on like the graffiti booth, there's usually like, hey, you get that badge from this guy. Come back at 3:00. I'll give you that exclusive Hal Jordan figure.
I don't go to that. You endure that. I don't endure that.
I do, and then but like I throw them on eBay.
But they're much. It's much. It's much easier for you to do that stuff too. At New York than I think at San Diego. San Diego, I think you have a lot more loops to jump out of.
Walk 10 miles to the other end of this place, get a badge from a wiry Chinese guy, come back, talk to the Hasidic Jew over here.
Or the cyborg Jewish man.
Cyborg.
He'll
give you a premium Jon Stewart action figure. But Jon Stewart from The Daily Show, which you can redeem for a Jon Stewart Green Lantern figure tomorrow at 3:00 in the afternoon.
I'd keep the Jon Stewart.
Would you?
I would keep the Daily Show. I would definitely do it. So it's so hot.
I know, man.
I'm like, I keep on drifting off the side.
I mentally prepared myself before. I'm like, it's gonna get hot. I gotta get pumped up.
I didn't.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
I was taking the subway the other day, and I love New York City. It's the best. I was taking the subway the other day. There's a dude. It was like maybe like 5 people on the platform waiting for their one to go downtown, and there's one guy, little dude, just like really weird, and he's like staring at everybody, and all of a sudden this guy starts trying to pump up the crowd at the platform, just like yeah. Well, I walked away from him. 5 minutes later, train's still late. He's like, come on, hey buddy, is it hot or what? I'm like, you're on the ground in July in New York City. Yeah, it's hot.
Did you push him onto the tracks?
No, he ended up on my train and just like was a complete maniac.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I love New York City.
Oh, absolutely.
It's better than Texas.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I've never been in Texas.
By far. Justin Jordan, the new writer on Superboy, writer of Luther Strode for Image, has walked off his book.
Oh, why?
Another walk-off.
Surprise.
Who knows? He's got 2 other DC titles he's working on. He works on New Guardians, which supposedly he's still on. Maybe. Usually when you walk off, you kind of get rid of all your shit you're working on. Nice. It's a gunshot. But he won't say, but now he's also working. He picked up a job at Avatar.
All right.
So.
That's cool.
Another one. You didn't read any of the DC stuff this week, so I was going to talk about how kind of awesome that this Trinity War stuff turned out to be.
Is it? Talk to me. Talk to me about it.
Really good, man.
I read Batman Catwoman. I thought that was great because it's a good.
Yeah, I gotta read it.
It's a good follow up to the post Damien stuff.
Yeah.
And I read Batman 66, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it bothers me that it's a digital first comic.
Why?
Because it's like I'm reading it and then everybody's like on Twitter and all the social stuff, they're like, checked it out already, dude.
Oh, well, who cares, man?
Yeah.
Man, same way with all the He-Man crap I was reading.
Yeah, okay.
It was all digital first stuff.
So
whatever, bruh. Yeah, but Trinity War turned out to be really good, and actually, like, it feels like an old school
DC
crossover.
It's 12 issues, right?
I have no idea. I don't. If it's 12 issues, it's 4, I guess, in each of the titles.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the thing after this Forever Evil thing coming up. So this is all the fallout. Did you read the issue before this? The one with Superman Go Crazy?
No, I didn't.
Oh boy,
on JLA or
2 weeks.
JLA or just regular Justice League. No, I'm like behind on Justice League because I set everything aside to like, you know what, I'm gonna read the Trinity War.
It didn't happen.
I've been reading a lot of catching up on like the Image stuff and the Dark Horse thing.
We don't talk about that stuff on air.
I know, but I like it more. That's why I'm reading it. Killjoys 2 was awesome last week.
I didn't read it.
That was phenomenal.
I was too busy reading the mainstream stuff.
6 what do you call it? Like the gorilla book. 6 shooter gorilla.
Didn't pick it up.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a weird story. I wish I remember the name of it. I know it's not
6 Gun Gorilla.
Is it 6 Gun Gorilla?
Yeah.
All right. I get confused with the Cullen Bunn book, which is the 6th gun, right?
Yeah, it's 6 Gun. Yeah.
Okay. East of West number 4.
That was good.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good book.
There's another one with dinosaurs and a World War II guy.
I'm not reading it.
It's an IDW book.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Really good.
I'm reading it.
Sorry, bro. Too mainstream for me.
I know. This was our show last year, but reversed.
I know.
We trying to talk about Hellboy and him being backed up 100 issues.
Yeah. I'm still backed up so many issues. I gotta take a good couple of days off and just like really read everything.
The mainstream stuff.
What's your rate of reading for comics?
Immediate.
No. I'm saying like on a good, like how many comic books can you bang out an hour?
As much as I humanly can. per hour?
Yeah.
I can read 5 or 6 comics in an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, if not more.
Okay.
It takes me literally 5 minutes to read a comic book.
Okay.
No more than that.
Yeah.
You?
I time myself every so often because I'm weird like that. Especially if I have a big stack where I'm like, I gotta get through these 30 comics like within the next day, and I've gotten down to like maybe like fully appreciating it and like going back between 5 and 6 minutes, 7 minutes if it's like a Bendis book sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes I take my sweet time with a lot of them, but just on a big week, I have to make a way through there.
Yeah. Can we talk about Walking Dead?
What?
Which we were off last week and it came out last week.
Sure.
And that was one of the best. I'm an idiot. I didn't see it coming. I like getting fooled by
Nobody
stories.
saw it coming.
But the fact that those bullets just like, because we would talk about it all the time, how they're not going to work, and then we forgot that they didn't work.
I think you're misinterpreting this.
Go ahead.
They got shot out of their hand by snipers.
Okay.
I thought the same exact thing when I first read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I realized that they're surrounded by snipers. That's why the guns are getting shot out of their hands.
Okay.
It's not the bullets exploding.
See, that's how I interpret it as.
Because the guns would be to pieces and they'd be very badly injured.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was just me snapping.
And I was scared for a second.
Because the way I read the issue twice over, and the way I interpreted it was just the happenstance of like, now we have these bullets, we're going to use them, and they all misfired and just like recoiled out of their hands. And then Negan does his speech and says like, oh, by the way, like my army's coming.
Nah.
All right.
Yeah, I did the same thing for like the first panel. I was like, oh, the bullet thing is coming to fruition, and no.
Thanks for clarifying that.
That's what I do
for me. That's pretty interesting though. I mean, that whole like, what do you think is going to happen next?
I have no idea. I mean, this is not even the beginning of the war yet, and you kind of thought that that Rick would get kind of a drop on Negan, and it didn't happen. Negan was much smarter. He surrounded the town. He's been watching them every step, and Rick and his crew are totally screwed.
Shit don't work out for Rick sometimes, man.
No,
I think Jesus is gonna come and save the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think the actual war doesn't start till I think August or September. And so we still have more, prelude to all this stuff. A lot of people complain it's kind of been a slow burn, but I love this issue. I thought it was such a tight issue.
Oh, absolutely. This was one of those moments where, I was like, I did the vocal realization at the end of the issue. Yeah. Because it was such a good build up. And that's the beautiful thing about the book is that it doesn't play dumb. It doesn't think its fans are dumb.
No.
It gives you like the good. I know like the hardcore zombie people are like more, but you got to look at it from a different level. And the book should also be called, Life Ain't Working Out for You, Rick.
You screwed, Rick.
Sorry, bro.
It was really good. It was a solid issue. What else did we miss out on last week?
There were a few things. You know what I didn't get from this week? Thanos was surprisingly not in my pile this week. And I really wanted to read that. I thought I accidentally grabbed another issue of
another cause of the summertime blues.
Yeah, of Batman and Catwoman, like an idiot.
You got 2 copies of it?
Yeah.
No wonder you're pushing it so hard.
I
read that a copy.
I read them both side by side.
Thanos Rising was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanos Rising was completely good.
Hawkeye from
last week,
which is with his brother.
Oh, that was really solid too.
Yeah, it was really good. Daredevil from last week, which was like another Eisner winner.
That was the follow-up to the aftermath of all this stuff. Because like Foggy's doing really terribly.
Froggy's dying.
Yeah.
Foggy.
Oh, and the Daredevil, the guy gave him his name.
Right. Because he was like a big wimp when he was a kid. Which was like every issue that Mark Waid's writing is just like
he's tremendous,
phenomenal.
Man. Yeah, it's really, really solid. And I don't know if you're reading it, the Hulk crossover with Daredevil is friggin' awesome too.
You know what? I lost it on the stuff that Simonson was doing, and then I was like, oh crap! Like I got it.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's why it made it to like the other pile, like the third get to pile.
Yeah.
But I keep flipping through that, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to read you.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a cool idea too. Check it out.
Yeah. Thanks.
Read some comics.
Thanks, John. I read a lot of comics, but we have to get better at the. You're just a digital guy, man.
I'm just a digital guy.
Yeah, you're a digital guy.
Yeah.
So we got to get better at the what. We got to formulate our stacks better.
I think I do it pretty well. I get through all the cool shit.
Yeah.
I get through the top 10.
See, I prioritize in a different way, I think. I prioritize by like odd feel. Like, did you read All New X-Men this week?
Yeah.
Amazing issue. Art, completely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy where Bendis is going with this whole thing, because it's the best part about his run right now is that you don't know what the future holds.
Yeah, I have no idea where this book is going.
Yeah, it's not a predictable.
I think part of me feels that this is going to be the book that redeems Cyclops for the most part, because of in this issue, kind of see a little bit of the Cyclops Wolvie buddy stuff going on.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously Jean's getting corrupted, and I think next issue she's making out with the Beast. So there's a lot of there's like little I think nuances are changing of the of what we expect. But I just want to see if this is going to create a divergent timeline, or is it all stuff that is leading to development that they are now. Is like Wolverine going to be forcing Cyclops down the line to be the asshole he is now?
Okay. Yeah. I like the dynamic. Bendis writes young characters very well.
He does.
And he always has. And he's owned that skill on Ultimate Spider-Man before, like pre Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Like the original Ultimate Spider-Man. So it's a nice, refreshing take on kind of like, they're not written by Stan Lee and going like Gadzooks every 2 seconds and like, what do we do, Professor?
Yeah.
To me, my X-Men.
To me, my X-Men. Well, they kind of did that in this one.
It's more, I feel like it has more weight now, because it's like that nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
But, you can't compare the book. And it's a nice, like, they're bringing him back into the world. And like for example, in this issue, after the whole battle got wrapped up, and Iceman throws the snowball at Thor to make sure he's Thor, and then he's like, "You're a curious little frost giant," and he's like, "What? Whoa!
What am I talking about?"
But I like the way it's like I like the way they're all drawn, especially Iceman.
Yeah, he does look cool.
Didn't go full snowball with him.
Never goes full snowball. Well, I think they're going to be giving them all new costumes soon too.
Okay.
During the crossover.
Leather movie costumes.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Oh man, I'm at a loss. There was like a few books that were like on the tip of my tongue that were good. Did you read Thor this week?
I did. It was awesome.
What a crazy book. What an epic. Like I kind of, this is one of those titles that I want to get when it comes out fully collected.
Yeah.
Just like this storyline, because I'll go back and read it, man. Especially with like the triple Thor dynamic, and it's just cool stuff. Like Aaron, I feel like is writing it based on cool Thor moments.
Yeah.
And then this is going to lead up to modern day Thor holding 2 hammers and destroying a god bomb on the last page.
That'd be pretty cool.
And old Thor just saying cool old Thor stuff.
Well, I like the designation that they bring them out of the 3 Thors. Like they call young Thor. They call our Thor the Avenger, and they have King Thor. I'm wondering where this is all going in terms of like their development and how this whole story is going to kind of like lay out.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's the art's great. Aaron is totally killing it in this book. It's a really, really solid story, and the God Butcher is awesome.
Yeah. Killed his wife in this issue.
Killed his wife.
Pretty nuts. I suggest that everybody pick up. It's so crazy, man. Like every week we always talk about the Marvel stuff, but like they're really knocking it out of the park.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the Superior Foes of Spider-Man, also, which we were trying to catch up on the last couple of weeks. But that was an awesome issue.
That's
number
my
1.
dream book.
For you to write, right?
That's my dream book. Yeah, that's it.
Well, you know what? Like, what I kind of found interesting was, I know you're a huge Shocker guy, but in that
Richard was a bitch.
Huh?
He's such a bitch in that book.
Yeah, because he's written as the coward.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with a lot of the Shocker exploits, but is that a new thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, there's been stories about him kind of like showing some cowardice or whatever, but not to the degree that he has in this. But I think they're going to be doing something with that. He was always the knockaround guy. He's just schlub.
Yeah.
But I like to see like Speed Demon around, and it reminds me of the old school the Deadly Foes Spider-Man miniseries.
Yes.
But this, like, one person did a review about this, the first issue of the Foes of Spider-Man, and someone was saying like basically you could take the costumes off his character and it can be like a story like Criminal. It's just straight up crime noir, which it is. I mean, that's what you want to see out of these B and C level characters.
Absolutely.
Is like them robbing banks and like kind of like stepping over their own feet, and like that's stuff I like.
Well, that's I think that's one of the beautiful things about modern comics is that there's a different creative there's a different creative flux when it comes to them. Meaning, I feel like a guy like Fraction or like your more creative top tier indie style writers will say, I have something in the back burner that I wanted to write that's more of like a down to earth, real person story. I'm just gonna put costumes on them and make it like a Hawkeye story.
By Hawkeye story.
Which completely works. It completely works, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Just like that gritty, real life kind of. I got some guy paid me $1 million to put on this costume and rob a bank. I got nothing going for me, so why not? I'm gonna put on these stilts and climb a building.
But while we're going, they're talking about doing. I always like when they do gritty stuff. I'm sure you do also, and just like we're seeing with Superior's Foes. We saw it in Moon Knight for a while. Like those gritty characters. Daredevil, we always get some degree of that.
Right.
Less so nowadays. But there was, they announced they're bringing back the Marvel Knights imprint, which is usually the darker, brooding stuff. But apparently they're just doing it for marquee characters. So we're getting I think a Hulk Marvel Knights and a Spider-Man Marvel Knights and something. I forgot the third title. It's a weird little focus that you're doing with them.
See, that does,
because the mission statement of Marvel Knights was always to take a lesser known character and propel them with kind of like a gritty book.
The street guys.
Yeah.
It was. I in my head, it was always for the street guys, and that's why Fantastic Four Marvel Knights and Spider-Man Marvel Knights didn't really work. Because they're Spider-Man's a very street level character, but unless you're getting that needs to be more of a Peter Parker book, where he's dealing with like some kid getting abused at school or whatever, when he was a teacher, or like something like that, like that would make a lot of sense, but not him being like happy-go-lucky Spidey swinging through the city, I want to see some darkness. But the characters they had, like Moon Knight, Punisher, I think Black Panther had a Marvel Knights book.
Yes.
And Daredevil was the last Marvel Knights book until the Brubaker run, I think.
And also shed the Marvel Knights banner also.
Right.
So, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, who would you throw back onto that banner?
I would figure out how to make Moon Knight work, I guess. I think that I would put the Superior Foes Spider-Man in there.
Okay.
It would never happen because they want to separate them, and kind of keep them on the Spider-Man universe with the same imprint. Oh, what character would I like to see in a Marvel Knights book?
Punisher again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything gritty right now, anything Punisher would be great at this point. I mean, did you read last week's issue of Thunderbolts?
Yes.
And that was a great, you had Steve Dillon Frank doing cool stuff, and that's whenever I see that guy do Punisher, it reminds me there's no Punisher book right now,
right,
which is really sad.
Well, I think the follow up to the Ruka stuff is coming out soon.
What is it?
I forgot the name of it, but I think it has something to do with that previous.
With him doing it?
No, not with him doing it. I think it's like a weird aftermath of all that stuff.
I think it's like a miniseries or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's like 5 issues or whatever.
Well, we should have. I think that book was doing well enough for them to demand a Punisher book normally.
Yeah,
that book always does fairly well.
It does. It also really depends on who's writing it, especially in the past 10 years, because you got Garth Ennis, Marvel Knights Punisher, phenomenal. Right?
Huge.
And all of a sudden,
Punisher Max.
You get Garth Ennis Punisher Max, which took it to the next level. The Ruka stuff was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The Remender stuff was good, but it's not the Punisher. That was more white glove, hokey, fun Frank. The Ruka stuff was phenomenal, and it's a shame that he left under circumstances or whatever happened. I would like a guy like Jason Aaron.
Oh hell yeah!
To do some more Punisher,
Well, his stuff, I liked his Punisher he did for Max.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I liked a great deal. I'd love to see him kind of pick up the baton from what Ruka was doing, where he was really blending the Marvel the Punisher Max version with the regular Marvel version.
Right.
No, it still had elements of superhero. He doesn't hide the fact there's superheroes in the world.
Right.
Which is always a balance. You do that type of Punisher, you don't do that type of Punisher. And he found that happy medium, and I loved it so much. I think he could have done stuff for a great amount of stories for the immediate future, but unfortunately.
Well, he did a great thing with that run, which is reestablish the fact that it's not that like guys like the Avengers treat him with kid gloves, but they know that he's
a loose cannon.
They know he's a loose cannon, and when it comes to Thor, he's a guy with guns.
Yeah.
And we listen, I could break you in half right now, but I won't. you know, like do the right thing. And he's like, no way, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a cool dynamic that Ruka established with that miniseries. I want to see another cool Moon Knight, Marvel Knights book.
He's a tough one, man. I think Bendis was the one that really nailed it with that. With
12 issues, perfect.
Yeah.
And I think he needs like the thing. Moon Knight, I feel like has always been a tough, like a tough story.
What's another one that doesn't really have a rogues gallery?
Yeah,
that's why the other one. That's why Bendis has really worked, because he used, characters that you would associate with other, characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's the big guy in that one?
Count of Faria.
Yeah, like you never associate that with Moon Knight, but it completely worked.
Yeah, it worked. And I think Madame Mask was the other.
Madame Mask was in it, and she's always a good character to use. I'm glad they're using her in Hawkeye.
Right, that was phenomenal. Yeah. That was a great issue. Again, every one of those, every single issue of Hawkeye is like an Eisner winner.
Yeah.
I would honestly like to see, and I'm gonna pitch this to you right now, as if you were Marvel. Let me write this book, Marvel.
How this man gets up my office?
Alcoholic Tony book. Tony Stark: The Lost Years.
Well, I've always wanted them to touch on that more. I think it's a fascinating time. We got a little bit of that in the Ultimates. We got a smidgen of that in Fear Itself with him drinking the bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see some like nasty Tony stuff.
Like it would be mostly Tony Stark.
Tony Max.
Yeah, Tony Max. Just like rich, drunk Tony Stark stuff, like all disheveled, getting into some situation that he has to think his way out of, but he's so dependent on alcohol, and he just like every issue ends with him getting the suit on him and just taking him out of whatever situation it is.
Word.
Like right before he passes out.
Yeah. And Rhodey yelling at him, "Don't clean up his act." I would read that. What else would I like to see?
I'd read a Rhodey book.
I wouldn't read a Rhodey book. I'm tired of that.
It was like War Machine. But
I'm happy with him in Secret Avengers.
Okay.
I like him in a supporting role. He's it's unfortunate because they're both black, but he is so the Jon Stewart of Marvel.
It's a shame.
Because they're interchangeable. Marine. The architecture stuff has been blown out the water with Jon Stewart.
Right.
Nobody talks about that anymore. But they're very much kind of like waiting for the other guy to like do the work.
Almost like the Falcon.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the Falcon is he just flies around until Captain America calls on him.
He's
gonna get more attention though because of the movie.
Okay, yeah. Is there a lack of strong black characters in the Marvel universe?
No. Next question.
Is there a lack of strong Hispanic characters in the Marvel universe?
Who cares?
I care. You just offended our entire demographic.
No, I mean like, I hate the idea of looking at race in comic books where we are like, is there a strong character? Or do we identify with this person? Do we have this many blacks? We have this many Latinos. This many Asians. It's like, all right. Create a character, put them in the book, or develop the character.
What happens?
Yeah, like work with it. I mean,
but that's like I feel like that's like the interesting thing about both major companies is that's not the case where it's like you can tell when that demographic needs to be when they think that demographic needs to be addressed, and that's how we got stuff like Milestone.
Yeah,
or putting like a character like Rage on the Avengers.
Yeah, well, that was a direct response of Milestone,
right? And like it's kind of weird. It's something that shouldn't exist. Where you look at something like the Image universe, and I'm talking about like the Eric Larson, Invincible, Savage Dragon, canon, in which I think Spawn exists and Shadowhawk,
all of them do,
and all of them. That was more of a kind of like, hey, everybody, we're in it together.
Yeah,
universe,
but that was the first thing they tried to do with like Image, like the
Shadowhawk.
Yeah, well, even Die Hard, they were playing with him being black for a while.
Right.
Like if you look at the first few issues and get his mask ripped off, you see like a black face. But it's like it always comes up when there's every few months. There's always like a talk of like, oh, we don't have enough of this, we don't have enough of that. It's just I hate to say it's the way it is, but. You got yourself like a Miles Morales, which like is built to satisfy two, minority groups, right off the bat. But it's just not like, I don't know. We got a lot of black, like Avengers has a ton of black characters on the team right now.
Yeah.
JLA now has a prominent black character on there for not for reason of his own not for Cyborg's popularity,
right?
Because there's an agenda, and I hate the fact there has to be an agenda for these racial issues. I would rather it happen organically. and see characters like that develop without saying we need to like shove this black character.
Like Luke Cage. Like Bendis is Luke Cage.
Yeah, exactly. Like you took, he didn't even create a new character. He said like, this is a character I love and I can honestly write great stories about instead of shoehorning him into a story.
I'd like a Luke Cage Marvel Knights series.
Hell yeah, I would like to see Luke Cage doing anything except for being married right now.
Gotta take care of that baby.
No, it's cool. Like, listen, there's two of my favorite characters. I love Jessica Jones and everything. I definitely think she's a newer version of what she was in Alias because of obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
I think it's cool that they got together, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
Marriage ruins every character, man.
You think so?
Absolutely.
You don't want to see Spidey with Mary Jane?
Absolutely not. No.
You don't want them to get back together?
No, I want to see them date and like go back and forth a few times and stuff like that. But marriage is just like, it's such a boring run off because it's one of those it's one of those elements that you're removing from the character. Like, you can kill the character off, you can, steal his powers, you can, someone steals identity, whatever it may be. The stuff with them dating and like hooking up with people is really awesome.
Well, a long-term marriage, you're saying, is detrimental.
Exactly. So like, look at Cyclops and Jean Grey. That neutered their relationship, and they made a great story out of it by him having an affair with Emma Frost. That's awesome, great stuff. And that was the first major development that still lingers around. Yeah. And it was like a huge, massive layer they added to this, relationship.
Right.
And then they had to kill Jean Grey because it sucked. We're not gonna have them divorce or anything.
Right.
It's a sacred marriage.
Yeah. Same thing with Spidey. You have that marriage annulled by what was it? One more day?
Yeah. Like look what we have to go through to get these characters out of these situations. Yeah. Like Superman, Lois Lane. Come on.
Yeah. You have to restart the entire universe.
Exactly. For whatever reason.
But you know what? Like I'm on the fence about the Superman Lois Lane thing because it's like, all right, it didn't really change anything because he's still Superman.
And then now they've never dated.
Right, now they never dated, but I always kind of like...
She's barely in any of the books.
Right. Yeah. I always kind of like the dynamic of him being like, she'll never know. She'll never know who I am.
Yeah.
And he's like schluppy Clark Kent.
Yeah.
A good example of a great comic book marriage.
Hawkeye and Mockingbird.
Oh, yeah, because that one, when she came back, they got a divorce.
Sucked, yeah.
Daredevil and the other blind chick, because that furthered the story.
That was good, but look at the result of it.
Right, but that furthered the story because you were like, go get him, Matt Murdock.
Yeah, but like remember how the story laid out? Like the guy was having a nervous breakdown, and the next thing you know, he shows up, he's married.
Right.
Like it's like that's interesting stuff. But like two people who are devoted and falling in love with each other is a boring superhero story. getting your my favorite wedding stuff was like
Wolverine,
Rick and Marlowe in like Incredible Hulk.
Okay, all right.
Because it was fun, and they were supporting characters. That's cool. You're a supporting character. You'll get married.
Phenomenal reveal of her being the porno.
Yeah, no, everything. Yeah, everything about their marriage and their bachelor party and everything was so good.
See, that was
great Gary Frank stuff too.
Right, that was an interesting thing when because I remember when that.
Well, the wedding itself was awesome.
Right, but I remember when
the Beyonder showed up.
Yeah, when that issue came out with the reveal, it was like the most controversial thing in comics.
Yeah,
because
it came out of nowhere.
And it came out of nowhere, and it was also like a superhero stag party. Like we're all gonna watch porno together.
It was so much
which is
fun.
Weird.
Yeah, that was a strange book. That and coinciding with X Factor were two really weird books.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so I read X Factor this week.
Okay.
So this is a big issue because it actually gives you the origin of Shatterstar and Longshot for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Hollow bones.
Yeah. They both have hollow bones.
Yeah.
Well, one of them has hollow bones. You want to know it?
No, because I love X Factor. I'm backed up on it. I know. This is the end. You got like 2 issues left or 4 issues?
Couple more, yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame too.
It's a weird book. Yeah, read Trinity War, man. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in DC right now.
Who are characters? I want to get back to the marriage thing. I find it fascinating. Who do you think should never get married? Wolverine got married.
Wolverine should never get married
again, because you know what happened. Sabretooth showed up.
Well, then also got married to Viper also.
Right.
Who should never get married? Spider-Man should never get married.
Mm-hmm.
He should be a perpetual bachelor. He should die alone. Who else?
See, I like the
Hulk should never get married.
Earth X, Wolverine, where he married Madeline Pryor.
Thing it's Jean Grey.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's great stuff, but that's like, you don't read 100 issues of that. Yeah, Wolverine should be perpetually, single Spider-Man.
Cap.
Cap should never be married. Cap is married to the country.
You don't even think he should have a girlfriend.
No, I remember when I was a kid, and I was so into Captain America, and he started dating Diamondback. It was so weird,
right?
Because it's like he's like an asexual man. Like,
what do we do now, babe?
It's like the same thing with Batman. Like, Batman, Punisher, and like Captain America are guys who just don't have days off,
right?
And are just like, I feel like they're completely asexual, and they're just all about the business.
All right. See, I'm going to interject right there between Captain America and Batman, because Captain America, like, if he was real, you could see him be like the Dudley Do-Right boyfriend, like, I'm dating somebody, you know? Like, Tony, I'm dating somebody. Batman, I've always gotten the impression, which is great, because, like, everybody has that one friend that just bangs hot chicks and is happy with that. He's got Catwoman.
Yeah,
so he knows if he's gotta loosen the pipes a little bit, if he's gotta let the steam out a little bit, he can be like, meet me on the roof, and she'll be into it. Spidey's got Black Cat, man.
No, that's fine to have like a girl on the side or anything, but like even Batman, I don't like. Batman, I just like the only way I see him having sex is if it's like
mask on, a
complete moment of weakness.
Okay.
Like with the when he gave birth to when he put the seed in Talia, because he was like had been in the desert having a mind trip,
right?
Or if it's for business, like he has to perpetuate the Bruce Wayne persona, like the Bruce Wayne thing. I'm one of the believers of like the Bruce Wayne stuff being like the mask, and I like any type of business, like the Punisher thing will drive me crazy to no end. Him having sex with somebody. Is like,
well, he
that's like watching your father have sex.
He got down a lot in Garth Ennis Max.
He just had the one major one, but that's hot chick.
I think there was a couple.
There might have been one near the end. I think I remember.
There was a prostitute towards the end.
Well, that was in the other one. That was in Jason Aaron's, which is also really weird. Which was straight up laying the steam out.
Yeah,
and that was interesting.
Punisher.
But like him having a relationship and everything.
Electra, he's boning Electra right now.
I know, but it's done like. But I'm saying it's not. It doesn't come across as natural. Like,
I could still say boning, right?
Yeah, Punisher and Electra banging. It kind of makes sense in this thing because they're both turned on by the blood.
Yeah.
But it's always weird to see him like Garth Ennis handled really well when he got hooked up with that hitman.
Yeah.
Hitwoman. It wasn't the dude. Because it was like also shared interest and like the love of the battle and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's always weird. Like you can't see him like you're going on a date, that type of thing.
You feeling Italian tonight? Yeah.
Like he's a guy who barely eats. Like this guy's eating MREs like on a heater like every few minutes.
What was I don't know if it was the Jason Aaron run. It may have been the Garth Ennis run. There was one panel where he's like, didn't have time to sleep, grabbed a handful of bacon and a cup of black coffee.
I think it was Jason Aaron.
I'm out of here. Yeah. No, it's a fascinating subject. Like, but you have like, let's say a character like Invincible, who's with Adam Eve, and that makes sense.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, like they've been together since issue
anyone
1.
Anyone in a Robert Kirkman book that is a romantic interest is a soon to be victim.
Let's say superhero books, right? The JSA have always been married.
That works though, because that's a story. Essentially JSA is about legacy.
Right.
Or has become a book about legacy. Mm-hmm. So like, getting married and having progeny is, a great thing that tied to that.
Mm-hmm.
But like Superman and Wonder Woman hooking up is bizarre.
Yeah.
Because that's not a relationship that you want to see. It's a super couple and all that stuff, but I'm sure even with my rules against it, I would rather see Wonder Woman and Batman because it's more interesting.
Right, yeah.
And it was cool. In the JLA cartoon, they were always teasing the two of them hooking up on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's good stuff. But it's still, at the same time, I don't think Batman has time for that. Or an interest.
You don't do it for me.
Yeah. But there's like, who else what other characters do you think that would be verboten from getting married?
That is a good question.
No Hulk, because I've seen every Betty Banner Hulk marriage in the world.
Get over it, bro.
Yeah.
She-Hulk?
Well, yeah, she should always be single.
It could work, though.
I would like to see get happy, get a stable human being.
I want to see her get married to the Juggernaut.
No, I want to see her get married to White Wingfoot. That's her true love.
All right, yeah, that's true. Johnny Storm should never get married.
She never get married.
Black Bolt's marriage works perfectly.
Yeah, but that's also like royalty. Like royalty works. Royalty absolutely works.
And Black Bolt has eight alien wives now.
And he doesn't have his own book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's a family book. That's like reading Fantastic Four. That's a book built around a family.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, he should never get married.
My brother.
He needs to die alone.
Yes. My brother just in the chat room said The Thing should never get married.
He should never get
Girlfriend's fine. He's got
Alicia,
which is great, and he loves her. But for some reason, they're not married yet.
No. Well, now he's like dying, falling to pieces.
Again. Who else should not get married? All the Avengers come to mind.
Yeah, let's hooking up. Like if you're on a team book, I have no problem with you guys hooking up.
Okay.
Just keep it simple, man.
I think Dazzler and Beast was Dazzler and Beast Ultimate X-Men from years ago.
Oh man, it was there was that love triangle.
Yeah.
That was Beast and Storm.
Was it Beast and Storm?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was Dazzler? Because it was like a cool like punk rock Dazzler. It was like Joan Jett Dazzler.
Yeah, there was. Who's she hooking up with? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Wolverine could get down with everybody.
Yeah,
because they kind of did away with the whole him and Storm thing like real quick.
Well, it's now rearing its head again.
Okay.
Like, I love the Wolverine Storm stuff. I wish they didn't officially date though. I've always liked the whole dancing around thing. I'll always call back to this. It's a great X-Men annual. Claremont, Alan Davis is doing all the art. It's this crazy saber-tooth looking dude who has the cosmic powers in the book. And they go fight this guy who's like invincible. And this is like the first time that it's ever happened where they're about to go in and Storm just grabs Wolverine and kisses full tongue kiss in the mouth to Wolverine and says that's for luck. And it was just like that's all they did with it.
Thanks, bub.
That's cool. It's like there's sexual tension, there's stuff going on there. It's a lot of people live in the same home. It's cool.
My favorite it's always been kind of like skirted around like the Wolverine Storm thing. Again, one of my favorite panels in recent memory was I forgot what book it was in. It may have been in the Academy. I'm not when Storm joined. I think it was like Wolverine and the young whatever. Wolverine and the X-Men. Where Storm's talking to Black Panther and he's like, look, I know we're not really married anymore and you're gonna have your fun, but just do me a favor and don't let it be Wolverine. Click. And the last page was like, hey Wolverine, what are you up to? Nothing. Just hanging out. Waiting for that butt. And they hooked up in that issue. It's interesting because it's also it also adds a very soap opera dynamic to comic books.
And that's the interest of why half the people read X-Men. It's because these are a bunch of people with hot blood and actually will sleep with each other, as opposed to like Avengers where everyone is just kind of perpetually married.
Never. Quicksilver should never get married.
No, he should never get married. Look at Storm. Storm's a good example also of her marriage really ruined that character.
Royalty.
Yeah. But that didn't work because nobody wanted to see that happen.
Right.
People were like, it's like the first major black marriage and stuff like that. But
I think that, again, like we were talking about that earlier, I think that kind of played a little bit of a key role into it. Did.
Absolutely. But like, I think I've always liked Storm a great deal.
Right.
But before that, now we got, she has the Mohawk and they're making him more to what the character I like. She's an interesting character.
Oh, yeah.
Thief in Cairo, claustrophobic, grows up to be a goddess in Africa, and then she, eventually goes to like Japan, gets a Mohawk, becomes a thief, becomes a punk rocker.
Right.
Is weirdly independent, has sex with an alcoholic, one-legged American Indian.
Forged.
Yeah, it was cool stuff. Like she had some good.
And all the stuff with the Morlocks.
Her like dying and turning into a little girl.
Right. Oh my God.
Like there's a lot of like cool layers that they've done with her that they were trying, like for a long time they were trying to like really elevate her to like Jean Grey status.
Right.
And it's cool that like her and White Queen are both characters that are kind of like, screw the Jean Grey,
F her, it's our
martyr.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a good one for you. Read into perpetually the couple. But I think the dynamic in that lies in that every single person that they come across is trying to bone Sue Storm.
It is weird.
Everybody. Because they did that.
Did you read this week's Fantastic Four?
No. I got through a little bit of it.
There's a really weird bit.
With her panties sticking out, which I thought was weird.
That's weird. I noticed that right from the get-go. But there's also a weird thing about it with Giant Storm, because she's like, you saw like her body is starting to like, reject the mutation.
Right.
So that it's like parts of her are visible. So Giant Storm is saying to her, is like, oh yeah, you're this is really taking away from your like your sexy babedom or something like that. And he's like, whoa. She's like, ew. And he's like, I'm just saying, you're a sexy babe, even though you're my sister, my big sister. want bone.
Still all right to say bone. But there was that. I think in the Hickman run, there was like a few issues where it's like it's Namor.
Oh, well, yeah, they did a lot of Namor stuff with that.
And the Namor stuff is awesome because
it's so unhealthy.
She wants she likes the affection of Namor, and he's like, "Come on, live under the sea with me." And
she likes the attention.
That fish love all day.
That's why I think that's why I love the Reed Sue stuff because I'm fascinated by Reed much more than I am by Sue.
Oh yeah,
but I like the fact that she's always drawn to Namor because he treated her like a queen, and Reed just like it's every once in a while.
Right.
Otherwise he's completely in another room.
Yeah, but he's an asexual guy too.
Oh yeah, like that dude is not doing any type of sexual work with that stretchy penis of his. It's a shame.
He doesn't get it. He just makes it flat.
I would love to see divorce between the two of them.
Okay.
And then see the inevitable rebuild. But
you know what you're gonna get. That's gonna lead up to would you rarely get
remarriage.
The 5 o'clock shadow Reed.
I love anything that gives Reed a harder time than he's got. I'm always all about bearded Reed. Dr. Doom armor wearing Reed, long haired Reed in different dimension wearing a flak jacket. All about it. Any type of variation of Reed.
You know what I'd like if there was a reveal that Doom had a wife somewhere on Earth.
That'd be cool.
That would work.
Anything Doom related. That's another man who should never get married.
Yeah.
You know what? I would like to see Doom get married eventually. I was really intrigued by him and Scarlet Witch for a while. As a power couple.
Yes. Yeah.
Villains, I don't mind getting married because it's weird. It's devious.
Doom and Dazzler.
He's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. now, bro.
That's right. It's
pretty cool.
I got to go in for you. Iron Fist should never get married.
Iron Fist? Yeah, he should get married. I think when his career is over, he should probably get married to Missy Knight.
Right. Because they're,
Yeah, they're a couple.
They like the thing. All right, it looks like we got to wrap it up.
Oh my God, already?
You doing the tech show after this?
Tech schmeck.
I drank a can of Pepsi. Are they going to give you free cases of Pepsi now that they saw it on the air?
Yes.
All right.
They should give you all my sandwiches free now too.
Where'd you get your sandwiches from?
Constantine.
Free advertising right there.
There you go.
All right, everybody. This has been another episode of Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian.
I'm out of here.
Later. Mahalo, everybody.